Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. When I made this garden, I mentioned that my hedge trimmer had blown up. And it was a petrol hedge trimmer, one of those 5-tool multi-function things. The original machine lasted me a good while, but the replacement engine died within a year, which is something that I'm really disappointed about. But one of my friends, Brian from Allotment Life, is another YouTuber, so if you don't know him, go and check him out. I'll leave a link for his channel in the description. So Brian's come to my rescue. So very kindly, Brian's given me this long-handled hedge trimmer, and it's in a battery-powered one, and I'm not used to battery-powered before. I've always had petrol engine ones, and the petrol engine's given me a good amount of power. So I'm going to test this and see how it gets on. So when you get this machine, it's going to arrive in two pieces like this, and it just fits on, and I'll show you how it fits on, and I'll show you one of the problems that I had getting it started as well. Now this machine, it extends, so it's got a long reach, so if you want a longer reach, you can extend it. It's just got a twisty knob that you can extend it with. And the good thing about it is, I've just noticed this, that it retracts by itself. That's really clever actually. The problem I had when I started it, so I tried to connect the end like this and it wouldn't start because it wasn't quite connecting. And I'll show you how to troubleshoot this little piece here. Now the first thing to do is to extend it a little bit and tighten it. You've got these two locking pins, and these two locking pins is what the hedge trimmer needs to slide into. So if we just slide it in, there's a little groove to show you that you're locking it into the right place. And both of them have to slide into place. And then this piece just comes over the top and hand tighten it all the way to the end. And that's it, you're good to go. It comes with a 20-watt battery that just slides onto the end like this. And with that, it's good to go. So it'll just turn straight on. So just here on the battery, there's a little indicator to tell you how much charge you've got. So if you press that, it'll tell you. So right now I've got a full battery. There's a couple of things that I don't like about it. I mean, it's not balanced very well. There's a lot of weight towards this end and not very much weight at this end, so it's not very well balanced. I do like the fact that it's got these soft grips, that you've got a nice handle to hold it onto. I mean, it's not that heavy, it's quite easy to get started, assembly is really easy, and I'm going to give it a test out and I'll show you how it works in a garden like mine. So I'm going to show you my monster hedge that I'm going to deal with. So my aim is to trim all this back, go all the way down here, go all the way down here, here. All behind the greenhouse, all down here, and I've got that side as well to do. And go all the way up here, behind the fruit trees, all the way up here. With the old hedge trimmer, I could do the whole garden with one tank of petrol. So let's see how long one battery or one charge will last me. So let's get to work. But I'm excited about having a new toy to play with. It's something quite good. I'm new to battery power. I was a bit skeptical about it last year, which is why I went for another petrol one. But thanks to Brian, I'm getting a chance on trying an electric one. So let's see how it goes. So it's got a nice safety strap. I mean, it'd make more sense to have the safety strap in the middle so you've got a bit more balance on it and it's holding the heavy side up rather than the light side. But let's get this going and let's get this hedge tackled and see how we get on. Bismillah. So the end bends back, it bends forward. It bends forward to 90 degrees and it bends back not too much. It only bends back about 10 degrees, but let's see. I'm quite happy with the way it's cutting actually. I didn't expect it to cut as cleanly as it is doing. I thought it'd have a little bit less power. So I'm quite happy, I'm quite surprised by that. It's quite a mild surprise. So let's try this function of it working on an angle, and let's do some of this top bit. So how has this machine performed? I'll tell you now, I'm actually quite impressed with this little machine. It's a 20-volt battery, and it's done, I think it's done better than I expected it to do actually. So let me tell you where it gets. So all this hedge from this side all the way down to the bottom, that's about 20 meters of hedge. It took me about half an hour to do that one side, and with one charge it did all that side. I mean, I'll admit the leaves on this side were a little bit more tender, and with this side the twigs were a little bit thicker, so it needed a bit more power. And it's cleared all this side all the way up to the top, and that's about another 20 meters of hedge. And it's cleared all of this, and it needed 2 charges for this side because it just worked a little bit harder on this side when I was cutting it. So it's a much lighter machine than the petrol one, and because it's much lighter, it's not taking its toll as much as it would if I was using the petrol one, and I'd be really struggling. Normally what I do is with the petrol one, I do my hedges in 3 sections. Front side in one day, then I'll do the right side of the garden in one day, and then I'll do this side of the garden on another day. So it'll take me 3 days to do it. But I've managed to do the whole of the back garden in one day with the battery powered one, and I've not been as worn out as I would with the petrol one. So that's one advantage. I mean, the good thing about the petrol one was that it was a multifunction one, and so you could exchange the heads. So I had a strimmer, I had a chainsaw, I had a hedge trimmer, lots of 5 different tools in one machine. With this one, it's just a hedge trimmer. So a strimmer would be a separate machine. A disadvantage of this is as the battery power is starting to drain, it does start to get jammed a lot easier. I mean, but when it's got full charge, it'll gnaw through quite thick twigs quite easily. I mean, let me just give you an example. It sawed through that. So it sawed through something that thick, and for a little machine like that, yeah, I think that's pretty good. But don't go around cutting loads of these sorts of things because you'll damage the machine. But it did it. I mean, it did it as a one-off, and I'm quite impressed with that for a little machine. So where would I rate it? I'd probably rate it about a 7 out of 10. And the big thing that's putting me off, the reason it's not getting a higher score, is because the balance is off, and it doesn't have that multifunction. It doesn't have that multifunction around it. Now the big question, would I buy one? The range of this hedge trimmer is about £100 range. It's a little bit cheaper than other hedge trimmers in its league. So performance wise it's there, function wise it's there. Would I buy one? Yes, I would. Yeah, so there's my honest answer. I'm not sponsored by them, so that's an honest review. There's no bias in it. It's a nice machine, it's quite light, it's quite functional, it gets the job done, and because it's battery powered and not cable powered, you're not dragging around that cable. So yeah, I'd buy one. If I was going to go and buy one again, then yeah, I would buy one. So I hope you like this review. Don't forget to leave a like for me and subscribe for regular updates. I'll leave it there for this one. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.